Hi guys, I'm back. Hi YouTube. We are back again with another video today. Today we are doing a two-handed versus one-handed. Because okay, this is a question I've been getting like every single day, like literally every single day. Be it through YouTube comments, be it through Twitch chat. Everybody has been asking me about the recent two-handed versus one-handed change. A lot of people are very curious as to whether or not two-handed is now better or is one-handed better, because obviously if y'all didn't know, some context, recently in KMS, let me show y'all, they've had skill improvements and they've given hero an extra 1 attack speed stage for weapon mastery. Now this is not a big deal in KMS, because in KMS they have an attack speed cap of 2. So both one-handeds and two-handeds can hit 2 attack speed cap, and there's virtually no benefit to using a one-handed in KMS, especially since they don't have 22 starable shields. But for Maplestory and GMS, this is a big deal, because previously two-handeds can only hit 1 attack speed, whereas one-handed can hit 0 attack speed without any external buffs. With external buffs, two-handed can hit 0, but I mean, now that we have the extra 1 attack speed, two-handed can actually hit 0 attack speed flat without any external buffs. So what this means is, in my opinion, it means that two-handed becomes virtually best in slot. We're gonna do a final damage test here today against a dummy. We're gonna use, I'll show you the equipment that we're using. We're just using, all my gear. I removed my secondary, and we have a two-handed longsword with no attack, with no weapon attack and flames or anything like that, and one-handed short sword with no weapon attack, flames or anything like that. So basically, they're virtually the same. They're virtually the same thing in terms of weapon attack. And the only thing that separates them is the weapon attack multiplier from using a two-handed versus a one-handed. Alright? Anyways, so we'll be doing a full 4-minute BA, which is basically the duration of a hero's burst. So we'll do a full burst cycle basically from one burst until the next. And then we'll stop at 4 minutes once my combo instinct comes off cooldown. Should give us a pretty good idea of what it's like. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have a Buccaneer here. I don't know if you guys can see my Buccaneer. It's going to be giving me a real speed infusion. So real speed infusion will give me 2 attack speed levels. As long as I have a green pot, I'll hit 0 attack speed with both my two-handed and my one-handed. So this is going to be a kind of like a litmus test for when the attack speed changes come in and how much final damage we actually gain from using a two-handed versus a one-handed. There are other factors to consider. So first of all, let me say from the outset that we have things like Terminus Defender and Maple C, where the Terminus Defender has it's scrollable for one, and it's star forceable. So you get a lot of extra weapon attack in comparison to a Princess Nose medal. So in the Princess Nose medal, you get 9 weapon attack, 14 strength. For the shield, you get 176 strength and 137 weapon attack. I can show you guys the calculations later based on my stats, how much these stats add to my final damage. And we can do a comparison based on whether or not the two-handed actually has as much final damage, or whether the two-handed multiplier is enough to overcome the final damage gain from the Terminus Defender versus the Princess No secondary in terms of raw stats. Alright, so my skills are coming off cooldown. I'm gonna rebuff Decent Speed Infusion, and we're gonna go at it. Alright, we're gonna do a full burst rotation. Everything is gonna be the same. So yeah, let's get down to it, I guess. Like I said, we're gonna be just casting skills off cooldown, and yeah, as if this was a real bossing, as if we were in a real bossing scenario, we'd be using as many skills as we would be using in a optimal full bossing rotation scenario. We're starting off with the two-hand, by the way. So small tip while I'm doing this and it's kind of boring. The way you want to gauge whether or not you can use Sword Illusion for heroes, or when you should rebuff or re-debuff the enemy with puncture or panic and puncture, is by looking at Sword Illusion. By the time Sword Illusion cools down, assuming that you don't have any cooldown hat or whatever, is about the time when Soil Illusion comes off cooldown. So 28 seconds is the duration of puncture. So it's a pretty good gauge as to when you should be reapplying your debuffs. Panic lasts longer. Panic lasts like a full 10 seconds longer. But I mean, it's better to just debuff both at the same time again. This isn't gonna be like a perfect test or anything, obviously. There will be some inconsistencies here and there based on, you know, what I'm doing and how many attacks I'm getting off and all that. But it should be roughly okay. As in, it should be roughly accurate. I'm not going to use the second Cry Valhalla here because usually I use the second Cry Valhalla together with Instinct, so because the cooldowns don't match up. I think I mentioned all this before in the other video, so sorry. Sorry, this is like kind of repeated information. I will be using the second Weapon Aura because Weapon Aura has a high enough uptime where it's okay to be using it whenever it's off cooldown. So Instinct is up in 55 seconds, we'll stop the moment Instinct is up, and we'll end the battle analysis. Okay, there we go. That's the end of BA. 3 minutes and 51 seconds. We did 9.9. Is that Trill or Bill? Bill. 9.9 Bill. Okay. So 9.9 Bill. Wait, is that Bill or Trill? Wait, what the hell? 100 million. Oh, okay, no, it's 9.9 Trill. It's a low defense dummy anyways. So anyways, let me note down this number real quick. Let me take a screenshot. Sorry. So we know exactly what we're doing here. And we can hand BA 0AS. Okay, we got that saved. Very cool. And now we'll be doing it with the short sword. So everything else is relatively... Oh, I just pressed shift. Damn it. I cried Valhalla. I was taking a screenshot, I accidentally pressed Cry Valhalla. I'm gonna have to wait another minute or so. Anyways. Yeah. Okay, since we're waiting for a minute anyways, I can show you guys exactly how much final damage a Terminus Defender gives me. So this is all based on Rob's calculator from Delusion Dash. Very cool guy. He made this stat comparison calculator where you can enter in all your stats, then you get your stat equivalents and all that. So let's use this. Put flat attack. Where the hell is flat attack? Oh, flat attack is already being used. Okay. Flat attack and 170. Wait. Okay, I should enter in the actual stats. Where's my Terminus Defender? 137, 189. 189 flat strength. And we also have flat dex, which we have to include as well. Flat dex is 144. Alright, cool. 144 flat dex. So the Princess Knows secondary has a 14 strength, 14 dex, and 9 weapon attack. Alright, cool. So 9 weapon attack, 14 strength, 14 dex. Alright, so in total, we can see that the flat stats of the Terminus Defender itself, not including anything else, not including the potential or whatever, you get 5.79% final damage just from having a Terminus Defender versus a Pino secondary in terms of that stats because of the scrolling. For Maplestory, this is specific to Maplestory because I don't think GMS has the same type of scrolling that we do for our shields. Our shields have +5 weapon attack scrolls. I think GMS only has prime scrolls which give 10 all stat. I'm not 100% sure. That one, don't quote me on that. GMS players will have to elaborate in chat or in the comments if they want to elaborate. Anyway, so we know that we have a 5.79% final damage decrease from switching from a Pino secondary to a Terminus Defender. Or Terminus Defender to Pino secondary, sorry. Alright, my skills are off cooldown. Let's buff up. Again, same test. Oh, fuck, you know what? I didn't charge my combo orbs beforehand. Again, everything is going to stay relatively the same. Just going to use the same skill rotations as much as possible. As much as possible. I know that it's not going to be a perfect test. It's quite difficult to get a perfect test in, so you have to forgive me for that. So what we're looking to see is how much exactly of a final damage boost do we get from two-handeds, obviously. So we'll compare the two BAs after this is all over, and we'll see. I'm expecting at least 10% final damage difference, if I'm being honest with you. Because the last time I did this test, two-handed final damage multiplier was 6 point something. I think 6.7 or 6 flat, I don't remember. Don't remember my own video. But yeah, it should be around 6 flat if I'm not wrong. So I'm expecting that was with two-handed at 1 attack speed. So I'm expecting that with two-handed at 0 attack speed, the difference will be even more. I'll be surprised if it wasn't. Okay, fuck. My dummy died. Shit. Okay, well, this video is gonna be a little bit longer than I thought. Oh god, I should have known. Dummies have a 20T. Oh god, fuck me. I'm upset. Dummies have a 20T limit. I am actually upset. Sorry. Apologies. I'm gonna have to set up another one. Oh my god. And should have just set up another one in the first place. I did this. I don't remember if this happened in the previous video actually. If it did, then I'm just stupid and I didn't learn from my mistakes. I'm sorry. Bear with me. We're gonna wait for all the skills to come off cooldown again, then we're gonna go. Oh my god, I just wasted like 3 minutes of this video. It's okay, man. I'm just padding the video's runtime so that so that the video seems longer. Small. Sorry. Let me see. Okay, let's buff up then. I'm not running out of green pot. Okay, I gotta make sure that I'm not running out of green pot either. That would be pretty bad. Sorry. I was expecting my damage to be way lower, to be honest. I wasn't expecting 20t or 99.90 out of the first burst. So I guess it kind of makes sense that the dummy died. It really does make sense that the dummy died. Yeah, please no more fuck ups. That would be great. I don't wanna. If I fuck up one more time, I'm probably gonna have to restart the video, and I just wasted like 15 minutes of my life, and it's gonna be very sad for me. Please no. Okay, next thing that I have to pop is weapon aura. And then after that, we are basically home free. We're just gonna be hitting and using Sword Illusion plus War Reaver plus Rage Uprising combo every 30 seconds or so. Fifty seconds to go. I'm not gonna fire off the last Sword Illusion because I didn't fire off the last Sword Illusion in my previous BA as well. That's gonna skew the BA results. I'm just gonna wait until Combo Instinct comes off cooldown, which is in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Alright, let's see this. So we did 8.90. Alright. Let's take a screenshot real quick. I just used Cry Valhalla again because I pressed shift. And so yes. Okay. Let me shoot a message to all my friends first. Okay, so let's look at the two BAs and compare, right? Let me open them up. Give me 1 second. This is the first one, and this is the second one. All right. So, first BA, 9.95. Second BA, 8.93. So let's pull out a calculator real quick. 99541126529117 minus 89349204930448. So this is the amount increase. It's about 1T difference. So if we take this and divide it by the original number, which is 9349204930448, you end up with a 11.4%. No, I mean, this is decimal, but it's an 11.4% increase in final damage overall when you compare between one hand and two hand attack speed. Obviously this is not the best way to test, but it's the best way I could think of. So 11.4% final damage increase. What does this mean? So when you look at the final damage increase that I get from my Terminus Defender based on my stats, this is huge because this is 11.4 and this is only, so in essence, you lose another 5.79% final damage from equipping a Terminus, from not equipping a Terminus Defender, but you gain 11.4% from equipping a two-handed at 0 attack speed. So overall, the gain in final damage is 5.61% overall final damage gain from equipping a two-hand sword, assuming that your two-hand and your one-hand have, your Penal Secondary and your Terminus Defender have the same potentials, like the exact same potential lines. This is the potential final damage gain from switching from one hand to two hand. And it's pretty significant. 5.61% is nothing to laugh at. I struggle to get even, like once you reach endgame, getting even 1% final damage is already pretty huge. Getting 5.61% final damage is enormous. So what does this mean? This means that two-handed is without a doubt best in slot, no matter what server you're playing on. Because let's say that you get, even on GMS, where you have Terminus Defenders that have extra potential lines, so they have extra 1% attack per attack line. The thing about it is that when you're looking at Terminus Defender, you're not looking at 6-line attack Terminus Defender. So I could say that, oh, you can potentially get 6% more attack on Terminus Defenders compared to Penal Secondaries, but who the hell is going to keep 6-line attack on their Terminus Defenders for both main port and ad port? Nobody, right? So at most you're looking at maybe 2 lines of attack and 2 lines of attack on main port and 2 lines of attack on ad port. So that's 4% extra attack. And how much is 4% extra attack? Let's go and see. Now this is based on my stats, obviously. Everyone else's stats obviously everyone else's stats are different. But 4% extra attack is only 1.97% final damage for me, up to 2%. So in essence, even with the extra multiplier from Terminus Defenders in GMS because they have extra attack, in a realistic scenario where you have 4 lines of attack, two-handed still wins because two-handed will still be 3% final damage stronger, or 3.6% final damage stronger than one-handed. Y'all get what I mean, right? I hope I'm not making this very difficult to understand. But yeah, in essence, what this means is that two-handed is virtually the best in slot right now. There's like no debate about it anymore. There's no like, oh, attack speed or, oh, you know, damage cap and all that. No, two-handed is best in slot. One-handed's worse. Now, what does this mean moving forward for heroes that have heavily invested in Terminus Defenders? Okay, so this pertains to me specifically because I am a hero that has fully invested into the Terminus Defender, and I'm affected by this change because suddenly my Terminus Defender drops in value. Suddenly it's not best in slot anymore. I would say the best way to look at this change right now is to look at it as not a nerf to one-handed. Sure, the resale value of your Terminus Defender drops. Sure, the resale value of a one-handed sword or axe drops. But the thing is that you didn't get any weaker. Yeah, you didn't get any weaker. What this change does is it makes two hands stronger, but it doesn't suddenly mean that your one hand is suddenly weaker because because of the +1 attack speed change. It does not. You can still comfortably use a one-handed and liberate with one-handed. Heroes before this patch have liberated one-handed. Heroes after this patch will continue to liberate with one-handed. If you're already invested into a one-hand plus shield, stick with it. Especially if your end goal is to do Black Mage and to clear Black Mage. So for me, I did Black Mage. I've cleared Black Mage, and I chose a one-hand sword. I chose to throw away the one-hand sword because I was only on the first mission, and restart my Genesis mission, and I'm going for two-hand. But I can still clear using my Terminus Defender and my Arcane Shade Saber. So that's what I'm choosing to do. Is I'm choosing to just use my Terminus Defender and my one-hand saber and use them to clear Black Mage. Now the other thing that you have to consider when you're talking about two-hander is that the difficulty of finding a Pinot secondary, like a Pinot medal that has good stats. Right now, if you're looking for a Pinot secondary, a Pinot medal on Aquila, there's no way to find one. There are no LL Pinot secondaries. There's two in the whole server that I know of, and both of them are being used by heroes that are actively playing, so there's no way in hell they're gonna sell them. In order to recube a Pinot secondary to a reasonable amount of that, like, if I want to match my Terminus Defender, I'm gonna have to spend so much money. I'm gonna have to spend so much money to try and cube this Pinot secondary to match my Terminus Defender right now, in terms of just potential, and that's just not smart. Like, for example, right now, Terminus Defenders and one-hand swords dropped a lot in price, I agree. But it's also okay because you can... what that means is that heroes can now pick up Terminus Defenders and one-hand sabers / axes for cheap, and you can use those to liberate, right? Nobody says that you can't liberate without a two-hand with one hand. You can definitely liberate one hand. Everybody so far is liberated with one hand, right? So you can pick up these items for cheap now. You can use them to liberate, and then afterwards you can use, once you liberate either a two-hand sword or a two-hand axe, up to you. And afterwards you have 9 months during the liberation period to slowly cube a Pinot secondary. At least that's what my plan is. Like, a lot of people have been asking me as well what my plan is now that the changes have come. My plan is pretty simple. Just stick with the one hand and Terminus Defender, use them to liberate, slowly cube this Pinot secondary in the meantime. I have 8 months to do it while my liberation missions are underway. And once I'm fully liberated, I have a two-hand axe or two-hand sword, and I also have a Pinot secondary that's probably going to be ready. So yeah, there's no, like, don't panic. Like, a lot of people are panic selling their Pinot, panic selling their TDs and panic selling their Arcane Shade Sabers because they know that the price will drop. And I agree, but the thing is that the price has already dropped, and selling right now is not going to change much. It's definitely not going to change much compared to selling in the future, where maybe you lose out maybe another extra, like, you know, I don't want to say, but, you know, 100, 200 not meso. Yeah. But if your end goal is liberation, these items can still carry you to liberation fairly easily. And I would say, unless you are newly starting out hero, if you've already invested in the Terminus Defender and the one-hand meta, you should just stick with it until liberation. And then liberate two-handed. That would be my advice. So yeah, anyways, this video is kind of long. It's been half an hour already, but I've pretty much discussed everything I want to discuss. TLDR, because I know a lot of you all don't watch the whole video and you don't like to listen to me ramble all the way. Two-handed best in slot. One-handed is less good now. Or not less good, but it's the same strength, it's just not as good as two-handed anymore. It's about a 5.6% final damage increase if you compare it to a Terminus Defender. And that's pretty big. So any new and aspiring heroes, I would highly suggest that you use two-handed. For any heroes that are already invested, stick with your one-handed for now if you're planning on liberating. If you don't plan on liberating, I guess you can sell. You can sell and then rework on a two-handed, and it doesn't really matter to you. Right? But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know if you guys have any other questions in the comments, and let me know if you guys feel that I did anything wrongly, or if there's anything you would have changed in this test, and whether or not my results are accurate. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.